This talk is for you. If you are a mom who has a difficult time communicating your needs, asking for what you want. So this is a topic that through my 20 years of serving and working with moms and helping families comes up again and again and again. No matter how great of a communicator you are in the world, it all comes tumbling down in your closest relationships where you are your most true self and also most vulnerable, right? This is where we can sort of put on a face in the world with friends. We can put on a face at work. We can put on an identity or a mask or a hat. But at home, when the guards are down, this is the place where people experience the real barriers to saying what they need, being honest, asking for help, asking for support, commanding respect or cooperation. This is the real deal nitty-gritty of the work that I do with my clients in my coaching programs. And it's what I'm going to bring you today. So today I'm breaking down that, just really pulling back the curtain on what it takes to have truly effective communication, meaning you're able to ask for what you want and need, you're able to get that and receive that, and not from fighting or overpowering or arguing or conflict, but while reducing the conflict in your home and while gaining more connection with your kids. Okay, does that sound good? So if you're wanting that, say yes below. Let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're excited for this topic and you're ready to rock and ready to really learn some things. When you hesitate or doubt yourself, when you have conflict at home, the reality is you are not relaxed. You cannot relax. Your nervous system is probably in overdrive, or it's in fight, flight, or freeze. You are maybe in a withdrawal pattern because it's like, what's the point? No one's going to hear me. No one gets it. They're not going to do what I ask anyway, or I'm going to have to yell. I'm going to have to, and I don't have the energy right now. Or you're just in a pattern of yelling and kind of chasing people or nagging people or having arguments with your partner to get him to take action. And none of these are sustainable options. None of these are sustainable options. So I want to start right out of the gate by saying you might be thinking about this in the wrong way. If you've been stuck in this where you haven't been able to use your voice like you want to, or you haven't gotten the result you want to, or you feel scared, you feel stuck, you feel like you just can't get over that hump, then you've probably been thinking about this wrong. The problem is not that your husband isn't present or that he doesn't parent the way you tell him to. The problem is not that you grew up with a lot of trauma or parents who weren't present with you. It's not even the problem. The problem isn't that people don't hear you now. The problem isn't that they don't get it or no one modeled for you how to be a strong presence, how to lead with love, how to be courageous. Those things cannot be the problem. If we point our fingers at those, it is a sentencing to stay stuck. And if you've been here a while, you know that. If you've been feeling overwhelm or anxiety, or like your marriage is on the fence, and you're weighing your options about that. Should I get out? Oh my gosh, then we have to split finances. Oh my gosh, and then my kids shuffle back and forth, and my parents did that to me. I can't do it to them. If you're in that place, then you've been here for a long time. And today I'm so thankful and so grateful that I get to be here and you are here in this community so I can share with you this really valuable message for you to save you time, to save you energy, to save you total heartbreak of all of the many options that you're weighing now that you don't want to do. And if you've heard any of my clients sharing in interviews and testimonials, you know that they were there too. The problem is not out there. The problem is very simple and straightforward. It's that we don't know how to process the emotions effectively or at all. A lot of people are walking around right now totally stuck in this soup of unresolved feelings So it's also thoughts, but they get lumped in together and we don't even know it. If you have been stuck to the point where you're feeling overwhelmed now, or angry or resentful, or any of those things that are so toxic for you and that cause health problems and all the rest, you are stuck in a feeling or an unresolved kind of emotional soup, and it piles up. We get mad, we resent, we get worried, we feel guilty, we feel scared. If your kids are losing interest in taking guidance or coaching from you, if they don't want to hear your advice anymore, if you long for those days when you could hold them and soothe them or talk to them and they would listen because they thought that you hung the moon, but that doesn't happen anymore, there is a reason for that. And it's not because, well, I guess this is normal and the teenage years are really hard and awful. I hear people say that a lot, and it's really a belief system that is dangerous. It's a belief system that's dangerous when we assume that teenage girls are going to be like that. We expect that. Now we're accepting a disconnect from them. We're just assuming that they listen to their friends more than us, and that is a dangerous path. If your kids don't have interest in connection with you or communication with you, the problem is, and hear me when I say this, you just don't know how to process your own feelings. You don't know how to master your emotions. You don't know how to resolve what's been unresolved in there that's now coming up and really becoming a big barrier and an obstacle in your relationships, in marriage, and in motherhood. Okay? So I want to share with you for just a moment about how I got here. Is this making sense to you guys? Give me a thumbs up if it's making sense. Drop a yes below if it's making sense. I want to see where you guys are at and see if you have any questions for me as we go here. So here's how I got here. I've been a psychotherapist, a coach, a parent coach. I've had coaching programs. I've had groups. I've had one-to-one clients. I had a private practice a while back. I have worked with people in home and their families. I have worked with the most extreme situations and people who were in very big crisis situations. And I have done trauma work in all these areas. And so I pulled together what I know about family systems theory, about what the brain does to survive trauma, about how that then develops our personality, how trauma impacts our personality, how our families growing up create or turn into our personalities. We mix that with the coping skills and survival skills, and we've got a personality, right? And I started looking for patterns. This is one of my gifts. This is what I'm really good at. I can look for symbols, I can look for patterns, and I can connect the dots really quickly. And when I look for patterns in all the stories around relationships, around parenting, all the problems that my clients were having for so many years, again and again, same patterns, same stories. And I realized that when I boil all of that down, all of these problems down, and I distill it down, we get to one common problem. And you guessed it. What do you think the problem is? The problem is people not understanding the mechanics of how to process their feelings and move through them to the other side, to get rid of what they didn't want to be in anymore. So what the brain does is we're aware on some level, all of us, most of us are aware on some level of things we don't want to feel anymore, right? It sets off alarm bells and whistles. We want to avoid, we want to distract, we want to scroll, we want to drink a half a bottle of wine, we want to fight with a partner or yell at a kid. That's the moment where part of you is experiencing something you don't know how to feel and you don't want to feel it anymore. Totally normal, right? We can all think of an example like that. We can all relate to that. I do work with my clients on this every single day in my programs. But here's what I want you to know. We're doing all these things. You're doing the coping skills, the escape strategies, the plotting the divorce. All these things are elaborate attempts to not have to feel something. And I'm just going to say it again. These are elaborate plans and attempts to distract out of a feeling. You know, Daniel Tiger is really, like he is talking about this and trying to teach your kids that it's okay to have a feeling, but they can't really get it and learn it unless or until we get it and show them what it's like. They can watch Daniel Tiger till the cows come home. But the reality is, if we're running from our feelings, avoiding our feelings, trying to analyze over them, trying to negotiate with our kids about them and talking about them, and we're going like head-to-head combat around feelings, it doesn't work. They never go away. They never go away. They just pile up and become quicksand. And here's the message I have for you guys today. It does not have to be hard. It does not have to be painful. It does not have to be scary. You do not have to sit in a feeling for days to process it. I'm going to say it again because maybe your therapist has told you otherwise and it's just not true. You don't have to sit in a feeling for days to process it. What actually happens when you sit in a feeling is that it grows as your attachment to it grows. You become more aware of the feeling. And if you then don't know how to metabolize it and move it out, it will just put its teeth in you even more. You don't have to sit in it for days to quote unquote process it. You also don't have to talk about it and analyze where it came from. I know this is really contrary to what your therapist may have told you or whatever program taught you. But the reality is you don't have to talk about or analyze a feeling and where it came from and the experience you had when you were 5 or 13 or whatever traumatizing event that was, or how your parents parented you and where it hurt and where the wounding is. We don't need to do that. We don't need to start there. You don't need to go there. And honestly, it will waste years of money and time and your precious energy. These are your top resources that you should be using to be present with your kids and play with them and feel a beautiful dance in your life of doing things you enjoy, of having fun. Emotions simply need attention and presence. And I'm going to give you the formula in a moment, so stay with me. I have a really easy how-to for you on this. Emotions need attention and presence, and they will not settle for anything less. They don't care about your plans to divorce. They don't care about your new husband. They don't care about your kid hopefully outgrowing a difficult stage, or the fact that you're HSP or your kids are, or that you have out-of-the-box kids, or that you're ADHD. That does not make them go away. What they are asking for and what they need is your attention and your presence. And I'm going to explain that to you in a moment. So through a few simple steps and a bit of practice, negative, old, scary, heavy, fear-based patterned emotions, otherwise known as trauma survival patterns, will dissolve themselves and they will let go of you. They will let go of you. Now, here's the difference between the way everybody's trying to do it: distract, shove down, talk myself out of it, mentally overthink about it until I explain myself out of it, to some grass is greener area that never comes. We all know, if you've been here a while, you know it's not going away by doing those things. And yet, through a few simple steps of processing through the mechanics of moving your emotions, they will dissolve themselves, meaning they will let go of you. Because what's happening is you're in this power dynamic where it's like they own you because you're running from them or turned away from them, or even turned toward them and just having an argument with them, resisting. And it does not make them go away. We cannot force a feeling to do anything it doesn't want to do. It just doesn't work like that. It's like a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old. You can't force them to do anything that they do not want to do unless you try to bully them or overpower them. And when you do that to your emotions or to your thoughts, when you try to bully yourself into or out of a state, then what happens is you have a lot of inner turmoil and conflict. Now we're talking self-doubt. Now we're talking, You don't trust yourself. Now we're talking, I can't seem to reach that next goal or even take action on it because I'm kind of paralyzed. That's what happens. So we can actually get rid of feelings that we thought were a part of our personality. You can actually get rid of feelings that you believe right now today are a part of who you are. They're a part of who you are. My mom's like this. Oh, my grandmother's like this. My mom always told me I was going to be like this. This is just who I am. Not necessarily true. I've worked with hundreds of clients who have conditions or traits or behaviors or habits that they thought were personality and here forever, that they shifted once they got these pieces. I have a lot of clients who have an ADHD diagnosis, and they believed when they got it, it was going to change something. The clouds would part, rainbows and butterflies would just take off in their world. And all it did was give them initial, this makes so much sense for me. Now, turn the corner. What do we do with it? Still unfocused, still distracted, still jumping around A to B to C, never really digging my heels in, feel like I can't be present with my kids, that are now focused and calm. Focused and calm, because what was really going on was an attempt to control or survive some really hard feelings that weren't processed. So this is the exact method. I have taken all of this and all of my client work and everything that I have learned from 20 years on the mechanics of processing emotions in marriage and motherhood, and I have packaged it for you in a beautiful month-long accelerator offer. So this is called Master Your Emotions, 4-week accelerator. This is a coaching program for courageous leadership in marriage and motherhood. And leadership in this case means strong, steady presence, communicating with ease, getting your needs met without arguing, having more harmony in your home, more peace with yourself, and more quality connection with the people you love the most. And it's about the simple mechanics of processing and moving through a feeling that work, plus coaching from me as you implement them. I could not make this any easier for you guys. You can see if the timing works for you. This is an offer that I have not done in this way before to anybody and everyone in my audience who is wanting these things. So this course is kicking off. It's a 4-week accelerator. We meet once a week on Mondays. I'm going to give you step-by-step instruction and coaching from me. So you're going to learn all of these things that I am talking about today, the mechanics, the how, in a really clear step-by-step way, and then coach together on it. So everything I've outlined today to shift you from, I don't know how to communicate. I'm just giving up. I don't even want to say this thing that I need. And then feeling that heaviness or guilt or fear hold you back, to getting to a place where you're moving out of self-doubt and into confidence in how you communicate what you need. Less conflict, more empowered communication and understanding. So closer connection with your kids. That means more safety and trust. That means instead of them like, I roll mom, instead of seeing that or having them yes you to death and not do the things you're asking, there's real connection. They're listening, they hear you, there's trust, and you can make an impact and have a real influence with them because they feel you're a safe, grounded place for them. Okay, if you don't know how to process your emotions, you're not that grounded presence to your kids. You can't be. It's just mechanics. So they're going to feel that when you shift that. If you're wondering how to talk to your kid about something, or you're worried about their friendships or what they're doing when you're not there, and you don't know how to have that difficult conversation with them, you're going to get stuck in your feelings about it. You just are. And then you're going to overthink about it. And then you're going to make it mean something that it doesn't mean, that will then create a story for your child. So don't do that. Instead, take action to learn these very easy steps. I'll invite all of you to come in and work with me on this. We can have such an amazing dynamic experience in 4 weeks that moves the needle for you from not knowing step 1 of how to really dissolve an emotion in your body how to move it out, how to move yourself through it without getting stuck, how to navigate easily and efficiently through an emotion, a feeling, a negative thought spiral, and not get stuck anymore. So this is a simple 4-week offer. It's an accelerator, meaning it gives you the tools you need to get you going. The price for this is only $444, you guys. This is a 444 offer. It's a one-time investment for a lifelong set of skills to bring harmony to your family, to make you feel like an amazing, badass mom who knows how to set boundaries, set limits, support your kids in them without arguing, without nagging, without chasing, who knows how to say to your partner, hey, let's do it this way. This is what I'm feeling. What do you think about this? And really have empowered conversations to move your family from whatever kind of wonky patterns have happened over the last several years since the pandemic, or maybe even before, into a place of harmony, connection, respect, and fun. And fun, you guys, because you can't have fun unless we're relaxed. So this is going to help you to find that core of relaxation. So come and join me. I'm going to drop the link here. Let me just drop it in the comments below. So when you guys are watching back, you can check it out. Here is the offer link to master your emotions. And you can click that. You can check out more details. You can see if this feels like a fit for you and see if this is what you've been looking for. Because we do have other programs that do deeper work and work beyond this core set of skills. But for some of you, you're just going to need this core set of skills. Like, this is the reason why you haven't enrolled up into longer programs or commitments. And so this is your next step. This is your next logical aligned step. So what I want you to do is tune in about it. I want you to listen to your heart about it. How do you know if this is right for you? You're going to listen to what you feel. I teach my clients this skill all the time. You're going to listen to how you feel when you think of learning from me, of being proficient in your emotions. When you think of being a strong, steady, stable presence, of not doubting yourself as much, and the energy that's going to save you the money, the time of making bad decisions, or of doubting yourself, or of getting into it with your kids or with your husband about things, saving yourself that heartache over the next several months, the summer at minimum, the next year. If you keep practicing these and getting better at them, this is your next step. If you feel like, oh, I want this, don't shut it down. Just open. That's the direction that you move toward what you want. You open to what you feel excited about. You open to what feels like, oh, this is a good fit for me. Open to it. Click the offer page, click the buy button, enroll if this is for you. If you have questions, you can absolutely comment under this video. Let me know, and I'll be happy to answer those for you. And I cannot wait. We're starting in a couple of weeks. So enrollment will close as soon as the spots fill. There are a limited number of seats for this course, for this program. June tends to be a great time for teachers and others who need a little bit more flexibility. So if you want to do this program, but you just cannot make the time, we're going to be doing noon Mountain Time. That's 2 Eastern. That is 11 a.m. Pacific. If you can't come and meet us on your lunch break, don't worry about it. You can still come and participate, because we're going to make recordings available to everyone. You'll get to watch the replay. Okay, so during the program, you're going to get a replay page. You can catch up. You can ask your questions in the group. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to catapult you to your next level of being an empowered communicator and a loving authority and leader in your family. And I can't wait to support you on that. So drop your questions below, and I look forward to answering them. All right, see you guys next time.